Greetings, everyone. Here we go. Once, in a quiet suburban neighborhood, nestled on the edge of a dense forest, there lived a young girl named Lily. She was a cheerful and imaginative child, and her room was filled with toys of all kinds. But her most prized possession was a vintage Barbie doll that her grandmother had gifted her on her 5th birthday. The doll was unlike any other. It had delicate porcelain skin, piercing blue eyes, and golden hair that cascaded in curls to its feet. Lily named it Seraphina. Lily cherished Seraphina, and every night before she went to sleep, she would tuck her in beside her on the bed. She'd whisper secrets to the doll, and sometimes, she believed, the doll whispered secrets back. It was a bond beyond explanation. One chilly autumn evening, as Lily lay in her bed reading a book, she noticed something peculiar out of the corner of her eye. Seraphina seemed to move, just a fraction, her porcelain face contorting into a sinister grin. Startled, Lily blinked and rubbed her eyes, convinced it was her imagination. But as she continued reading, she felt Seraphina's eyes following her. Night after night, the eerie occurrences continued. Lily would find Seraphina in different places in her room, her expression altering from gentle to menacing. Sometimes, she would even find the doll perched at the edge of her bed, as if it were watching her sleep. Lily began to feel a growing sense of dread. Terrified, she told her parents about the doll's strange behavior, but they dismissed it as the result of an overactive imagination. "It's just a doll, sweetie," they reassured her. "You're letting your imagination run wild." Determined to prove herself, Lily decided to set up a camera in her room one night. She carefully positioned it to capture Seraphina and left it recording as she went to bed. That night, her dreams were plagued by a haunting figure that resembled Seraphina, her voice whispering dark secrets into her ears. The next morning, Lily rushed to check the footage on her camera. What she saw sent shivers down her spine. In the recording, Seraphina had come to life. The doll moved with unnatural grace, its porcelain face twisted into a sinister grin. It walked around the room, whispering eerie incantations under its breath. Lily couldn't believe her eyes. She showed the video to her parents, who were equally horrified. They decided to take Seraphina away and locked her in the attic. They hoped that by removing the doll from Lily's room, the strange occurrences would cease. But the horror was far from over. That night, as Lily lay in her bed, she heard faint footsteps coming from above. She knew it couldn't be her parents because they were downstairs in the living room. Trembling with fear, she mustered the courage to investigate. Armed with a flashlight, Lily crept up to the attic door. She could hear whispers and soft laughter coming from inside. She pushed the door open slowly, revealing a chilling sight. Seraphina, the doll, had gathered an assembly of other dolls, all with sinister expressions and lifelike movements. They were engaged in a macabre tea party, sipping tea from tiny porcelain cups. Lily gasped, and the dolls turned their heads to look at her. Seraphina's grin widened as she said in a sinister, high-pitched voice, "Join us, Lily. It's such fun up here." Terrified, Lily slammed the attic door shut and ran downstairs to her parents. They decided it was time to rid their home of the malevolent doll. They searched the attic, but Seraphina and the other dolls were nowhere to be found. Desperate, they sought the help of a local paranormal investigator named Dr. Whitman. Dr. Whitman had heard of haunted dolls before, and he arrived at Lily's house with a bag full of equipment and a stern expression. With Lily and her parents, Dr. Whitman conducted a thorough investigation of the house. They discovered that the dolls had left behind a trail of eerie clues, including strange symbols drawn in red paint on the attic walls and a diary filled with cryptic incantations. Dr. Whitman surmised that Seraphina and the other dolls had been possessed by a malevolent spirit seeking to spread its influence. He performed a ritual to cleanse the house of the dark presence and collected all the dolls, sealing them in a chest that he buried deep in the forest. As the years passed, the nightmares and eerie occurrences ceased, and Lily grew into a young woman with a family of her own. She had long since forgotten the terror of the haunted doll, Seraphina, and the evil it had brought into her life. But deep in the heart of the forest, beneath layers of dirt and leaves, the chest containing the dolls lay undisturbed. And somewhere, in the darkest corners of the world, a sinister presence waited patiently, biding its time for the chance to return and once again haunt the living. The legend of the haunted doll, Seraphina, would continue to be whispered in hushed tones, a warning to those who dared to underestimate the power of the supernatural, and a reminder that some nightmares never truly fade away. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and write your opinion about this story in the comments. And be sure to subscribe. It will be even more interesting.